This is from the HOA. I think it's a welcome to the neighborhood letter.
Horrifying.
Oh, please don't start.
Guessing you guys just moved in.
Yesterday, actually.
Oh, you can always tell which neighbors are gonna last. Good luck, son.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How's Fantasia treating you?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
How was last night?
Oh, it was also incredible.
Still recovering. Still recovering. I'd say. But it's amazing.
Recovering from what? From the crowd's response, or from the room service, from the room or the broom or the room service from the hotel? Both of those, no?
Yeah, a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Brilliant. I mean, sorry. The first question I want to ask you guys is, when the film starts, the ultimate villain in the film is the HOA is kind of the ultimate villain. It's like these city slickers are coming to the suburbs. But there's still this demon there. I'm curious, was that the first demon that you had in mind to kind of create the film, or was the genesis more kind of the characters and the creatures that kind of come out of the pit later on? Which came first, the chicken or the demonic egg?
Ooh, good point. Probably the HOA and then the monsters. When my buddy Scott Hawkins pitched me the idea, I had just moved into my house. So my wife and I had just moved to the suburbs. So we kind of we're doing that whole thing. I actually wasn't really ready to leave the city and kind of was like fighting against it. So some of that is put into the movie. So probably the HOA first and monsters second. But I also really wanted you to feel like at least Jerry's character in the beginning of the movie. You're not sure if he's good or bad or what. So I did paint him as like maybe an evil mastermind. We don't really know.
I mean, talking of Jerry, not just Jerry, but the characters that are already there when we kind of start the film. It felt very much a kind of a suburbia, very much kind of like Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives, with a mix of kind of The Simpsons, that kind of thing. I'm quite curious, what were your go-to references to kind of create the suburbia that you wanted to create, not just for the kind of the HOA and the neighborhood, but also kind of to lean into the way that the horror kind of overpowered this specific suburbia that you created?
I mean, at least for Lucas's character, he's just supposed to be completely oblivious of all the weird stuff that's going on. And we were trying to lean into a lot of like, we were basically making a Stephen King made for TV movie, but with crazier visual effects and action and all sorts of wild stuff and insane characters. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, basically, what do you think?
I feel like his facial reactions, during that opening segment, the jog through town, it laid out his naivete of what he was getting into. And even as everything was put right in his face, the box of bullets, the how to kill werewolves or witches, all of these things were right in his face. He was just oblivious, like that, none of that could possibly be anything real. And he carried that line all the way up until the first.
He was just excited. He was excited to be there and ignored all the bad.
Yeah, I did when I first read the script, Suburbia did come to mind for me, and just I feel like you are very much a Joe Dante kind of filmmaker, and so that all made sense. And I do have to I think so much of what brings what you've recognized is that location, our HOA location. And I have to shout out Tana Bagwell, our locations person, because I think without that, and without the incredible deal that we were able to strike with these people, this movie would not be the same. We were looking at a different location that I think was about a quarter of the size. And I kind of shudder to think about what the movie is if we got it there. So that place was real. That was an actual HOA clubhouse.
Yeah, indie film shooting for a month in your actual HOA clubhouse, clearly a very huge building that they could not completely close to their citizens. The residents still had to come in and access portions of the HOA clubhouse. It was crazy.
Yeah, it just cracked up. We were dealing with an HOA, making a movie about an HOA. I'm like, so we're like talking to the HOA president, like, is it okay if we do this? And they were great.
So there was like bystanders that came. There was bystanders that appeared and didn't kind of know what was going on. All these witches and these kind of satanic things were going on, and they had no clue what was going on there. So they were kind of like in your boats, what you were kind of going through, no? And they were kind of, what's going on in the neighborhood now all of a sudden?
Well, you were sharing the woman from the HOA came in, was it day 16? I think
Yeah, day 16, and Kim Daka, she's amazing. She just really opened up this place, but I don't think she quite knew what she was getting into. And us as kind of shrewd filmmakers didn't quite tell her everything. It's more of a asking for forgiveness instead of permission.
Tim properly
It's just broken
scrooged it.
for real. Yeah. I was like,
So she came in on like day 16, and by that point we had fully fucked that whole place up. I don't know.
It was a disaster. It looked like the place was condemned and ready to fall down.
But I remember him walking in and watching her face just kind of go away, and then her being like, "I've said yes to this," and then she goes, "I'll be back later," and just kind of like shut herself out. But thank you, Kim, and thank you to the whole neighborhood of the DuPont Commons, because it
Her
really
kid was a orphan.
it was Fort Gruber,
Yeah.
and I don't think without that.
I mean, how did you get away with that? How did you manage that? Did you promise them you'd get them the swimming pool that they'd all wanted, or how did you get away with that?
It was really
we're just
nice.
very passionate. Just show up and we're like, movies, and they're like, okay.
Did you find out her kid loved horror?
Yeah, her kid loved.
So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he was an aspiring effects artist. So early on in the process, we were like, why don't you come on and help us with the effects, right? So the kid did come out and worked with us a couple days, and he was like, cool. And that greased the wheels so much with Mom, and by proxy, the whole neighborhood. So it was
Yeah. But he was a really cool kid.
He was cool.
It's like 10, I think. And I was thinking, like, man, if I was a 10-year-old and I got to go into like a pretty decent sized movie set and like with all these creatures and stuff, it would have blown my mind. So it was like really cool to just be a part of something with an aspiring filmmaker as well.
Brilliant. I want to talk about Chris and Levi. I want to talk about Lucas and Ted, because it's kind of like the buddy relationship we didn't know we needed. I'm quite curious how you approach that, because it's one of these films. I mean, I love these. This is exactly what I needed right now, was this kind of a horror film that didn't take itself too seriously. But these films, whenever you do a kind of a comedy horror film that never takes itself too seriously, you also need to kind of draw a line to make sure that it doesn't lean too far in the slapstick, because otherwise people can they can enjoy it for a bit and then maybe it gets a little bit tiring. No, but this one didn't. And it was like, I really appreciate that it was only 70 odd minutes long now, which kind of really helped in its favor, because it just meant that you could just kind of get down and dirty and do it all and get out of it. So I'm quite curious how you approached that dynamic duo to make sure, I mean, just to kind of to serve as foils for each other, to make sure that the comedy it worked really well, like this buddy cop movie type thing, but without it feeling overdone and kind of cheesy.
Well, I felt like Chris's character, Lucas, had a really, really nice character arc throughout this film and throughout the writing. And the writing just gave such a solid foundation for it. And fortunately, I'd gotten to spend a little time working with Chris in the past. So I knew that we had a lot of opportunities there. So for me, I just built up Ted through parts of the character that I could relate to. I've been a youth wrestling and football coach, and I kind of took that coach mentality and the dad mentality. I'm a dad. So I kind of leaned into those elements of Ted and embraced the asshole parts of him, and really just I spent a lot of time looking down on Chris's character, and that to me, for Ted, that allowed to see him go through that arc, really go through the arc and experience our great moment in the bathroom where we had a revelation and came together and started fighting together. And to me, it was just really beautiful writing and a really great scene partner.
Yeah. And I would say, like, I don't get me wrong, I love a slapstick comedy. I mean, I love trauma films, which are wall to wall, just like zaniness and gore, right? Like James Gunn is an incredible filmmaker. Started with Trauma, those are great. But there's something really valuable, I think, about having a script that takes the time to put a little moment for characters to have a real connection, which is really beautiful. Like, we've got a couple scenes of this film that I think help enrich the comedy and the horror, because you start to actually care about these characters. It's not just a body count, right? Of like, who's all gonna die. It's so that when things go south for some of these characters, you actually care about it and you start to like feel something, which like is such a fun experience to watch audiences watch this film, because they're like, whoa, I didn't sign up to feel sad. Wait, what? No, it's supposed to be funny. But it was great working with Levi. He's an incredible scene partner. I think for Lucas, it was interesting looking from a character perspective. This seemed like this was a guy who didn't have a lot of strong male parental figures in his life, and so to finally have like this this older
You can say it.
yeah, like a father
Father
figure, like
figure, yeah.
100%. This dad body, who just finally someone who like looked at him and said, "Hey, Lucas, step up, step up, because you haven't in a very long time stepped up, and the world needs you right now, and you're married to a woman who you batting outside
You outpunted your.
you outpunted your coverage, as it were. So step up and prove to her that she does, you deserve her. And it was nice working with him to find those character beats of like, what does it mean for this guy who walks through life scared of everything?
I love
to
you
really
too, man.
finally to finally find courage,
Brilliant, brilliant. Listen, sadly, pulling me out. I had loads of questions. I mean, I had so much fun with the film. So congratulations on the film. I know it was a sellout. I think it's going to sell out. I hope it's going to sell out the second night that it's showing at Fantasia. And I wish you the best of luck with the movie.
Julian Smith to come up here. So
Yeah.
that's all at him on Twitter and say Julian.
Come to the second screen, Julian.
Here, because I think he would love it.
Oh yeah,
And I think people would love to see him because Julian fucking knocked it out of the park,
Yeah,
and it
killed
was
it.
so cool. And I love reading the reviews today that are all kind of recognizing Julian because I think his
character is so fun in that movie. He's great. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, it's a great movie. They're pulling me out. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you so much for the film. It's a blast. And I hope to speak to you again sometime soon.
Thanks, Howard.
Thanks so much.
All right, take care. Have a great time. Cheers. Bye now.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's not terrifying.
She's got this crazy idea that HOAs are evil.
Evil? We're not evil. We fight evil.